Hello and welcome back to another edition of The Problem With, and today we're going to talk about the problem with college. Now, before I start, you have to go to college. So college itself is not the problem. You have to go to college to basically get a job that you want. But there are a few problems associated with college in the United States, not worldwide, that we must address. I have a bachelor's degree. I attended college in the United States. I went overseas to the University of Queensland for a semester, came back, finished my degree. I'm in graduate school now. Why am I not wealthy with my degree? Now, this is the first problem that most people that go to college face. Once you get your degree, there's this assumption that I have a degree now, so I'm entitled to a high-paying job. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Having a degree does not entitle you at all to a high-paying job. It entitles you to jobs that you could not get before you had the degree. It is true that people with degrees from college make an average of $1 million more throughout their lifetime than somebody without a degree. That's almost a 100% proven fact. But it doesn't mean you're going to have a job where you're going to be wealthy. It simply allows you to get a job you could not get before. So say before you went to college, you could only be a server. Now you went to 4 years of college to be a teacher. You can now be a teacher. Well, guess what? Teachers generally don't make that much money. You're not going to be a millionaire with that degree, but you have the option to do that. Just like if you went to college to be a lawyer, now you can be a lawyer. It doesn't mean you will be a lawyer or you'll get paid very well. You now have the option to be a lawyer, and that's all. Our second point, the cost of college. Now, there are certain countries in this world where you can get up to a PhD for free. America is not one of those. Most people in this country get money from student loans. Let's just go into my cost, just to show you what we're dealing with here. My bachelor's degree cost me $32,000 in student loans. That's how it is. I could never have afforded it or even came close to getting that degree without student loans, period. I would have never gone to college without them. However, my degree was not the best. It wasn't philosophy or psychology, but it was not engineering or a doctor. So once again, I had to go back to college. Now I'm in graduate school. Graduate school has cost more than the actual degree I obtained in the first place. I'm now up to owing over $80,000. By the time it's over with, it'll be close to $100,000. But the problem is after the deferments and the forbearance and all that crap wears off, and eventually you can't do that anymore, well, if you don't pay, guess what? If you've acquired a house in that time, the government will come and take your house for those loans, or your car, or your furniture, or anything else they assess as value. So you have to understand that when you take these loans out, one day you're going to be paying them back. Another problem with college that people don't seem to realize when they get there is that colleges are not hotbeds of intellectual debate anymore. They used to be, but now most colleges are simply left-wing, almost Stalinistic types of facilities where if you have any type of belief system that is away from socialism or communism, you will be castrated for it. So a lot of college is basically pretending to be something you're not just to get through it. They don't call it a BS degree for nothing, just so you know. And the final problem with college is the fact that most people, once they get their degree, they never follow through with it. Most people that have degrees don't go into their field unless it's like nursing, doctors, lawyers. The rest of them, people with psychology, anthropology, English, whatever, don't end up doing that. A lot of times people with theology degrees end up getting master's degrees and becoming teachers. A lot of times people with like English degrees and things like that end up working for office firms and things like that, have nothing to do with the degree they got. So a couple of things you have to know here about college. One, the cost is very high. You're going to pay for it regardless. It's going to be ridiculous and you're just going to have to do it. Two, you're probably not going to work in the field you have the degree in unless you're lucky or unless it's a specialized field like medicine. That's just how it is. And three, you're going to be dealing with political viewpoints that may not be your own. You're just going to have to deal with it. And on top of that, be ready for almost violent confrontations with people when you disagree with them. Because we all know that leftists are the most intolerant people of all. Guaranteed. I do, however, suggest if you get into a college and you do fairly well, try an overseas study type of thing. I went to Australia for a semester. I lived in Brisbane. I had been to Brisbane when I was 12. I went back when I was 24, 25. It was a great experience. It was basically the reason I graduated. Anybody who goes through college, when you go through that long of it, towards the end you get something, as everybody knows, called senioritis. And that means you just start losing interest for it. You just don't want to do it anymore. But your junior or senior year, if you can take a semester and go overseas, it really puts the fire back into you and allows you to finish your degree up. I had to have help from my family just to get over there. But for the most part, if you can find a cheap enough program, it'll be covered by student loans and you can just roll it right into what you owe. So those are the problems with college. I do recommend going. You have to have a degree to make yourself pretty much anything in this life, unless you are just brilliant. You know, you have a Bill Gates style idea, Mark Zuckerberg style idea. Yeah, you can drop out of college or whatever and make $1 billion. But for the rest of us, you need a degree. You have to have that piece of paper that says, I can do this. Whether it goes into your field or not, get the piece of paper. Eventually, it should be worth it. If not here, in another country. Have a good day.